Pastor Kevin. And guess what? Pastor Kevin is back.
I'm back.
I'm your host, Lee, and we are here to find out a little bit more about what we learned yesterday or this past Sunday, depending on when you're listening. But first, welcome back.
Thank you.
Since I seen you last, you got a new kid,
New kid.
and that's exciting.
Very exciting.
Especially you got Father's Day. We, just celebrated that. And but a little bit more. Was it hard for you guys to pick the name for this new child? Because
No.
sometimes that's a struggle with parents.
No, it wasn't hard at all. Nora has always been a name that Jana's kind of wanted.
Okay.
Also, it fits the theme with our other kids. So Bray is 4 letters, Lena's 4 letters, Nora is 4 letters.
Ooh.
So
I didn't know that
that's
theme.
just I'm the only one that doesn't have 4 letters in their name. Jana. A lot of people put 2 N's in her name. It's just one.
Most people spell it with,
Yeah,
but only one's needed.
only one's needed.
Double N.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people pronounce it wrong too. but-
Janin.
Yeah, there you go. And then the middle name is in honor of my sister who passed away in 25. So
Well, that's special.
Cassie, yep, Nora Cassie. So no, she's been by far the easiest newborn of the
Okay.
other 2. So
That's what they say. Third kid. I don't know. I just made that up. Anyway, Max, you told us that to continue Father's Day, you had something going on here.
First, I just learned this insane fact that I just could not get my head around that I feel like we talk about a little bit more, and I feel like everyone needs to know this. Did you know that humans eat more bananas than monkeys?
That's amazing. That has nothing to
I
do
mean,
with
when's the
Father's
last
Day.
time? When's the last time you ate a monkey?
Oh.
So we have a couple.
Bad
we have
dad
a
joke.
couple dad jokes that we're gonna go through, and my goal is to make you laugh. I think I have like 15 here.
So am I supposed to not laugh?
I mean,
Do we get a point if we don't laugh?
we could do points. We could
Okay.
compete here.
I won't laugh at all.
We'll do a disgust count for you.
Okay, what is the definition of a laugh? Like, are you
Smirk?
or smirks?
You gotta make
I didn't
noise.
Make a criteria, but we'll kind of see
Okay.
how it goes.
I can laugh all day without noise.
You guys know the definition of propaganda?
Mm.
It's when a British person looks at something for a long time.
I understand it
All right.
because of their accents. Do you get it?
It was actually funnier when you explained it.
I saw you smirking once I
think-
said
I think
didn't
part
count
of it-
because
I think explaining it makes it better.
the explaining it was funnier.
All right. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field.
I've heard
Next
that one
up,
before.
I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down.
Because of the gravity.
I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me.
Because you're not shaving.
My wife told me I should do some lunges at home to stay in shape. That would be a big step forward. Kevin's got a little smirk going on.
Yeah, they're just really cheesy.
Yeah.
I love cheese.
Did you hear about the guy who invented the knock knock joke? He won the Nobel Prize.
Okay,
Because of
that
Adorna.
one's funny. Yeah.
You like that one?
I told my wife she was drawing her eyebrows on too high. She looked surprised.
That one got you.
That was funny. That was good.
That was a funny one.
I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around.
Okay, that's
Dude,
also good.
You love these now. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
I got fired from the orange juice factory. They told me I couldn't concentrate.
That was good.
What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie? Sophisticated. And then, Lee, you'll like this one. Why did the golfer bring 2 pairs of pants?
There's a hole in one.
In case he gets a hole in one?
Dad joke. Nailed it. Well done.
I changed my dog's name to 5 miles so I can tell people I walked 5 miles today.
There
That's
you go.
genius.
And then,
Or you just don't have a dog. Then you know
last but not least, I accidentally swallowed some food coloring. The doctor says I'm okay, but I feel like I've died a little inside.
I didn't laugh at that one.
Got a couple last.
Clever.
Kevin.
They were
got
clever.
I think I won.
I
You
think
definitely
Lee won.
Yeah, because I laughed twice.
You
at
claimed you
least.
wouldn't, and then you
Yeah,
One got you.
Yeah.
and that's
That
like
one got you
3
with the
minutes.
eyebrows.
the eyebrows is just
That was
funny.
a
I
good
was
one.
picturing it. It
Oh,
was-
yeah, you picture some
I've always like had dad jokes, but now I'm allowed to say them.
because you are a dad.
know. So
That's exciting.
Do you know who's really good at dad jokes?
the one and only
Matt
Matt
Schwartz. He is very good at
you
dad
can
jokes.
give him anything.
He will make me laugh. I mean, just the dead.
He's a funny guy.
He's very funny. Yeah.
You know that website Babylon Bee?
he could
I
have.
secretly think he works for
It
them.
is Matt Schwartz.
His
I think
comedy
it's him.
is
I hope-
very smart.
One time he was just sitting in the office, and me and Connor were helping at the food bank, and they had 2 pallets full of pickles, right? And it was like 2,000 pounds.
I took
of pickles.
I took one of those
So-
boxes
so
of
the
Palo
two-
pickles.
Connor and I moved it. I come back in and I'm explaining it. Matt goes, "That's no big deal," like without skipping a beat.
That's a good.
And just,
Genius.
That's a
and
good one.
The thing that makes it so good with him is he doesn't acknowledge it.
He doesn't acknowledge it. If you don't
If
get
no
it,
one gets it.
yeah,
fine.
You just
move
let it
on.
ride.
But then, like about 10
He
seconds
doesn't
later,
need-
You look back.
he doesn't need the laugh. That's when you know it's a good joke teller. He doesn't need the laugh. Yes.
By the way, I'm hoping we get sponsorships for this podcast. I
Yeah.
have this Olipop Cherry Cola was given to me this morning by a great friend, Mike Steiner, because he said he didn't enjoy the flavor. I love Olipop's Cherry Cola, and I'm
Do you
drinking
love it
this-
because it's the flavor? Do you love it because it's free?
both.
Both. Okay.
But they are delicious and they support my digestive health. It says so right there.
Wow.
So anyway, Olipop, if you're out there and you're listening, maybe we could put a little tag and you want to.
Or we could get a sponsorship from Dad's Root Beer that we all enjoyed yesterday.
That's true. I can't drink as many Dad's root beers though. This is supposed to be healthy soda, if that's such a thing.
Yeah.
I feel healthier when I drink it. It's plant powered, microbiome approved. Anyway, a little bit more. Get us back to the word, man. What didn't you have time for yesterday that we need to talk?
Yeah. So Romans 15. It's such a convicting passage. If you don't want to be convicted as a believer, don't read Romans. Because I mean, Paul just dives into it very deeply, but also he doesn't really give anyone a pass.
Mhm.
Because oftentimes we're looking to the left or the right, like, man, they should be doing this, or at least I'm better than that person. And what Paul does is he goes, hey, leave that up to God, right? Y- This should be it's a reflection of the self. It's this inner work that we're doing. The Grable language that we use is heart checks. Like this is a great book to go back to as a heart check. And Brent did a phenomenal job a couple weeks ago, just walking us through some of these things. But
Yeah.
I want to look at verses 1-7, and the staff and I, we walked through some of these things. But it's interesting to read this as a pastor versus reading it as someone who maybe works in a very secular job, who maybe is not surrounded by other believers most of their week.
Mhm.
And then they come together on Sunday and they hear a sermon on this passage. And they're like, of course it's easy for you to say that, but you don't understand my week.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Paul is trying to help us understand too. They lived in a very secular culture. If you know,
Rome was crazy.
Rome
man.
is crazy. But there's a couple of things, like if you go, you might be listening to this in your car or when you're working out or whatever, but we're in Romans 15, 1-7. And there's 3 very specific things that we are told to do that Paul's talking about. And the first thing is this, is it's just in the first couple words. We who are strong ought to bear with the failings of the weak. Now, when you think of other people's failures, when you think of people who are maybe less than or don't have the resources, usually bearing is not the first thing on the top of the list. Usually it's other things that typically can surface are maybe we kind of feel bad for them, maybe we gossip about them, maybe it's a GoFundMe page, whatever. But as Pastor Scott brought up in our staff meeting, it's not about fixing it. It's about bearing. And so what does it mean to bear someone else's burdens, to bear with the failings of the weak and not to please ourselves?
Mhm.
So even when you're helping someone else, are you doing it because it pleases you, it makes you feel good? Because that's not what Paul's saying either. Uh, which leads us to the next thing. Each of us should please our neighbors for their good. So the second thing that we're told to do is to please, to be helpers
In order to build
in
them up.
order to build them
Yeah,
up,
that's cool.
right? For even Christ did not please himself, but as it's written, the insults of those who insult you have fallen on me. For everything that was written in the past was written to teach us, so that through endurance taught in the scriptures and the encouragement that they provide, that we might have hope. It's this beautiful picture of what Paul is trying to describe a church community, and not just the community that gathers on Sunday. Like that would be a really simple thing to do. But it's, what does it look like to bear and please Monday through Saturday within a community of people? What does it look like to begin to make disciples in the everyday life? Uh, because we can fake it a lot for an hour or 2 hours, as if we're in this building for a couple hours together on Sunday. Uh, but may the God who gives endurance and encouragement give you the same attitude of mind towards each other that Christ Jesus had, so that with one mind and one voice you may glorify the God and Father, our Lord Jesus Christ. Accept one another then, just as Christ accepted you, in order to bring praise to God. So, this chapter, I have a hard time not thinking about Philippians chapter 2
Mhm.
when I read that section. And Philippians chapter 2, verse 5, if you were in youth group with me when I was a student pastor here, you probably heard me say at some point, if kids were kind of acting up on a trip or a mission trip, I would encourage them, have a 2-5 attitude. I'd literally have kids, parents, if you're listening, it's probably not great, right? Using Sharpie, but they would literally take Sharpies and they would write a 2-5 on their hand or whatever to remind them to have an attitude like Christ.
Mhm.
Um, so whether it was hot on a missions trip or they didn't get enough sleep at camp, but they would take it into their school year too, that they would
Yeah, that's
have
good.
have a 2-5 attitude. So it's very similar language that's being used in Philippians is being used right here in chapter 15. And so the three things that we're told to do is bear, please, and then accept. And uh, it says to accept one another then. Well, I think most of us, as a culture as a whole, I'm not saying us just as the church, but a culture as a whole, except we just, most of our culture would just stop there, accept one another, but they don't continue the rest of the sentence. Then just as Christ accepted you in order to bring praise to God. Our culture is trying really hard to accept all ways, all beliefs, all things,
Yeah.
and that's called tolerance. That's not what Paul is talking about here. So God does have standards with money. God does have standards with marriage. God does have standards with life in general.
Mhm.
So that's not what he's talking about when he says accept. It's not tolerance. It's not sameness. It's one voice, one mind that is of Christ, not of our preferences. So it's really interesting to think about the word accept in 2026, because we would read into the text and saying, well, see, the text does say that I can do whatever I want. I can marry whoever I want. I can spend my money how I just need to accept them. You do you and I'll do me, right? It's that whole concept of just be you. Now that's not quite what Paul is saying here. Um, so there needs to be a mind shift, and it comes back to kind of our mission statement here, Grable, that we love like Jesus and live like missionaries. Or what does that really mean? It's that Monday through Friday that we should actually assume. I know that we're not supposed to assume things, but actually assume to bear uh, the burdens of the weak. and not to blame people. What if we just focused on that for a day, a week, that we were just going to do what Paul calls us to do, that we're going to bear the burdens of the week, the failures of the week, and we're not going to blame other people, or we're not going to blame the fact that we don't have enough. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough resources. We don't have enough knowledge, uh, not enough capacity, whatever it is that we don't have enough of. What if we just stopped playing the blame game either on others or ourselves, and we just did what the text said? Um, I was reflecting out on my own life. I go, man, like I think my marriage would be better. I think the way in which I parent would be better. I think the way in which I lead would be better. I think even my own thought process would be better. Um, and kind of a, I did this for the staff, and I wasn't planning on doing this here, but here's if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's what my encouragement would be doing. Don't do this if you're driving, but sometime today, just go on your Amazon account and see the last 10 things you bought. What were they for? Were they to try to fill a void for your own heart, your mind, something that man, this will make my life so much better? Or was it for someone else? Was it for a purpose, right? Go back and look at whatever streaming service you use. What were the last couple shows that you watched? Was it to numb your mind? Was it to fill a void? Was it glorifying? Was it not glorifying? Was it entertaining? Was it not? Whatever it is, right? Begin to take an inventory of what's going on, because I think that's what Paul's doing over the last several chapters. He wants people to take a individual inventory of their life. Stop looking at someone else. Take an inventory on your life. So really, I guess the heart check is, when you look at these first 7 verses, what's one way that we can live it out this week, right? When it comes to bearing, when it comes to pleasing, and and then when it comes to accepting, but keeping them within the biblical context of what those words actually mean, right? So I don't know if you have thoughts around that, but it's so convicting to me as I look through this.
No, it's really beautiful. The last part of that, it says why. It says in order to. So why are we doing those
Yep.
things? In order to bring praise to God.
Yep.
So if we're created to worship, we are able to worship him through living out these things.
Yeah.
Like that's praise. And that's worship. And that's amazing. And that leads us right seamlessly into our next sermon series.
Yeah.
If you want to give a little commercial about that.
Yeah, work is worship. Yeah, God's been really doing a hard work on me, and I've been sitting with his mentor for the last couple of years, and he said something very offensive to me. He told me, Kevin, you've never really worked in the real world. I'm like, man, I work hard. I'm constantly working. I'm constantly thinking about the church, and the more I thought about it, I'm like, I've never really worked a secular job. I'm always in the sacred space, right? All my coworkers are believers. At least I hope they are. That was a joke. But I'm in
Dad joke.
Yeah, I'm a dad joke. But I'm constantly in the sacred space for the most part. Some people don't get the luxury. I think that's why some places, for some people, coming to church is very refreshing, because they get to be around the body. I'm around the body all the time. So God's really been doing a work on me, is this tension between the secular and the sacred. And how do we see work as worship? Once again, I love that you said that. In order to bring praise to God, we do not work to gain God's favor. We work because we're God's workmanship.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that?
Yeah.
We're his masterpiece.
It's what
we're
Pastor Brent said. We're living
man.
sacrifices.
Yes.
Pleasing.
Yes. Yeah.
That's really
Yeah. So I'm really excited to jump in the next couple of weeks to talk about work is worship, and what does it look like to bring the sacred into the secular, and for us to really understand, what are we called to do? What's the mission here at Grable? What does God call us to do as a body? To love like Christ, the Savior, the one who has resurrection power, who gave us the Holy Spirit, who pours out on us. Why? So that we can bring praise to him, that we can live like missionaries in the context in which
Yeah, this is huge, man. So seriously, prioritize being here the next couple of weeks if you're able to, if you're gonna be in town. And if you're on vacation or something, don't forget to tune in, because this is every day.
Yeah.
We all need to hear this message. this sermon series, how we can do this every day of our lives. So
Yeah.
thanks for bringing that. We're looking forward to Sunday, and if you want any more dad jokes, just hit up Matt Swartz or Max because he's full of them. But thanks for that. It was a lot of fun, and thanks for a little bit more. Good
Yeah.
to have you back, my man.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all again real soon.
Have a great week. See you guys.